Tambo and the school feeding program for the period December 2024 to March 2025 is 241,089. As at 4 December 2024, the private sector continues to import maize, wheat, and stock feed for both commercial purposes and at the same time to assist in the combating of the drought. A record 563,961 metric tons of wheat had been harvested to date, surpassing the 465,548 metric tons achieved in 2023. Regarding stock feed, trucks from the Grain Marketing Board continue to distribute grain across the country. Meanwhile, the establishment of ward drought mitigation centers has recorded 43% of the targeted 1,035 wards. The 2024-2025 summer season plan aims to increase production of cereals to 3,274,000 metric tons against the 744,271 metric tons obtained during the 2023-2024 summer season. The overall production volumes of major crops are expected to increase by 347% from a mere 915,000 metric tons to over 4 million metric tons. The production target for cereals is 3.3 million metric tons, while that for pulses is 819,500 metric tons. To date, over 746,238 hectares of maize have been planted under various support programs, being 41.5% of the target. Under the Presidential Input Scheme, 117% of the targeted 9 million plots have been prepared in terms of the target of 3 million rural households. Regarding the current dry spell, agronomic advisory from Agritechs should guide farmers at the local level. A prediction by the meteorological services of normal to above normal rainfall is still in place. Cabinet received an update on the progress made in terms of the banning of the alluvial mining and the rehabilitation of degraded rivers throughout the country, as presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. A.J. Masuka. Following the Cabinet Directive on 20 August 2024 to ban riverbed mining, an interministerial committee under the chairmanship of the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development was set up to spearhead the enforcement of the directive and to carry out a survey on the status of the river ecosystems and also to recommend more deterrent penalties for breach of the law. Accordingly, on the 29th of November 2024, Statutory Instrument 188 of 2024, the Environmental Management Regulations 2024 number 3 was gazetted. The ban on alluvial mining is being implemented and enforced throughout the country. The statutory instrument introduced stiffer penalties for offenders and also allows for the seizure of minerals, machinery, equipment and vehicles. To date, a total of 344 arrests have been made across the country. Cabinet received an update on various mining projects as presented by the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Winston Chitando. The Palm River Mines and Energy targets the following: the production of stainless steel, electricity generation of 1,000 megawatts, the production of 1 million tons of high carbon ferrochrome, and production of 1 million tons of coke. The Palm River Mines and Energy is the following projects, which are milestones towards the investment of United States dollars 3.6 billion. 2 by 50 megawatt power stations, 100,000 closed furnace high carbon ferrochrome production, and 200,000 coke production. The Zimbabwe Platinum Mines Limited signed an MOU with the government of Zimbabwe for the implementation of the US dollar 1.8 billion expansion program over a 10-year period from 2021 to 2031. To date, US dollar 1.1 billion has already been invested. The implementation of the expansion program has deliberately been aligned in order to allow the commencement with other projects that unlock capacity up the value chain. The projects under the 1.8 billion expansion program include the Ngezi third concentrator plant at a cost of United States dollars 104 million, the upgrading of the Bima mine at a cost of 82 million, and the construction of a flagship solar plant at a cost of 201 million United States dollars. The smelter expansion component at a cost of United States dollars 360 million. The extension of the SMC tailing storage facility at a cost of United States dollars 25 million, and the upgrade of the Mpani mine at a cost of 330 million United States dollars. Cabinet also received the report on the multi-hazard contingency plan for the 2024-2025 rainfall season, which was presented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Honorable Emon Mruira, as the acting chairperson of the Cabinet Committee on Environment, Disaster Prevention and Management. Cabinet advises that the multi-hazard contingency plan has been developed to prepare and adequately respond to a multiplicity of hazards that include tropical cyclones, riverine flooding, flash floods, landslides, heat waves, severe thunderstorms, hailstorms, fires, and human and animal epidemics, waterborne diseases, crop pests, strong winds, mid-season dry spells, mine accidents, as well as road traffic accidents. It targets any disaster that evolves beyond the coping capacity of local communities, as well as transboundary diseases. The nation is advised that riverine flooding may be prevalent in most flood-prone areas during January, February, and March 2025 period due to the anticipated high rainfall. Cabinet received and approved the proposal to host the 40th annual SADC Technical Barriers to Trade Cooperation Structures meetings as presented by the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable N.M. Ndlovu. The 40th annual SADC Technical Barriers to Trade Cooperation Structure meetings will be held from the 24th to the 28th of March 2025 at Elephant Hills Hotel in Victoria Falls. The assumption of SADC chairmanship by His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, has bestowed upon the government of Zimbabwe the privilege to host the SADC Technical Barriers to Trade Cooperation Structures meetings. The meetings will run under the theme promoting regional harmonization of standards for industrialization and economic growth. The meetings are aimed at addressing the region's technical barriers to trade, to explore the regional bloc's readiness for the Africa Free Trade Area, and to support industrialization through development of standardization, quality assurance, accreditation, and metrology. Cabinet received the proposed Zimbabwe National Plan of Action for the Universal Periodic Review 2022 to 2026 as presented by the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi. Following the third Universal Periodic Review, the government of Zimbabwe, through the Universal Periodic Review National Steering Committee, embarked on a process to develop the National Plan of Action for the implementation of the accepted recommendations. Accordingly, the following actions and activities aimed at implementing the accepted recommendations will be undertaken: the identification of treaties that need domestication and taking measures to domesticate them, the identification of legislation and policies to be aligned with the Constitution, the training of law enforcement agents, prison officers, judicial officers, and other public officers on human rights, strengthening and the decentralization of justice delivery institutions, and strengthening programs for the implementation in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, with focus on poverty eradication and providing safety nets for vulnerable groups. The plan of action will also focus on mobilizing resources to support the implementation of human rights, especially socio-economic rights, promoting gender equality and eliminating discrimination against women and gender-based violence, improving the quality of and access to education, and continuously improving the quality of access to health by all citizens, with focus on vulnerable and marginalized groups. Cabinet received reports on progress made in the implementation of priority projects for the third 100-day cycle of 2024 as presented by the Ministers of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, the Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, and the Minister of Industry and Commerce. The Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi highlighted the following achievements in terms of projects under his purview: that inmates were capacitated in terms of horticulture production and fisheries at Anju Prison Farm in Matabeleland North Province, that 4 blocks of 5 single rooms have been completed at Mazoe Prison Farm in Mashonaland Central Province, construction works of the Gwanda New Court Complex and the Mtawatawa New Magistrates Court, the Cowdrey Park New Magistrates Court, and the Kwekwe New Magistrates Court are all progressing well. The 4th phase of the integrated electronic case management system is at 75% in terms of completion. The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Honorable Monica Mchangwa, highlighted the following achievements under her purview: the construction of the Auna Fruit and Vegetable Processing Plant Phase 3 in Honde Valley, Manicaland Province is at an advanced stage. 21 micro, small and medium enterprises from the mining, agro-based, retail and manufacturing sectors across 7 provinces in the country were funded through the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Corporation. 29 projects in dairy farming, potato farming, bakery, development, detergent making, events management, beadwork, cleaning services, peanut butter were all funded in all the 10 provinces of the country through the Women Development Fund. 27 community projects, mainly in the agriculture and manufacturing sector, were funded through the Zimbabwe Community Development Fund. The construction of the Chikomba factory shells for the micro, small and medium enterprises phase 3 in Chivu, Mashonaland East Province is progressing well, and the construction of the Mtapa workspace for micro, small and medium enterprises in the Midlands Province in Gwero is at an advanced stage. The Minister of Finance and Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable Professor Mthuli Ncube, reported progress on projects under his purview as follows: that tax revenue was mobilized within the time frame. The Tax and Revenue Administration System that is compliant with internationally accepted tax administration best practices was launched. Under the Image Building, International Engagement and Re-engagement Initiative, 3 technical meetings of the Structured Dialogue Platform sector working groups were held against a target of 2 structured dialogue meetings. The National Development Strategy 2 was approved by Cabinet on the 17th of September 2024. The operationalization of the International Finance Service Center is ongoing, and 2 listings, Invictus Energy and Edgas, on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange took place against a target of 4 listings. The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable Ncube Mangaliso Ndlovu, reported progress on projects under his purview as follows: civil works for a warehouse by Mount Meru Millers was completed, and the project is progressing extremely well, with a target to invest United States dollars 1 million. Blue Ribbon Foods is investing 500,000 United States dollars for the upgrading of the pre-pack flour packing plant unit, and United States dollars 3 million to increase its grain silos capacity by 30,000 metric tons. The Ingwebu Breweries civil works are ongoing, and the target is to invest a total of 1.7 million United States dollars. 56 consumer education and awareness campaigns have been conducted throughout the country's 10 provinces. Cabinet received and approved the principles of the Refugees Amendment Act, Chapter 4.03, which was presented by the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable J.G. Moyo. The objectives of the principles of the Refugees Amendment Act include the alignment of the Act with the 2013 Constitution of Zimbabwe, as well as the alignment with the changes and developments that has taken place over the years regarding the international refugee protection instruments over the years, namely the 1951 Convention and its 1967 Protocol, and the 1969 Organization of African Union Convention. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for presenting today's Cabinet highlights. We now move on to comments or questions from colleagues. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chief Secretary. My name is Rameda Murwira from the Herald. My question is directed to Honorable Masuka in respect of the banning of riverbed alluvial mining. There was reference to the SI that was the Honorable Minister was pleased to promulgate recently. And from my reading of the SI, it seems to revoke orders of special grants and permits. My question is that a correct reading of the SI, that it is also revoking orders of special grants and permits? And if it is true, what is the implication in terms of policy consistency? I thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Any other contribution? Over to you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. The question from Ramaida Murwira is about the consistency in terms of SI 188, which bans riverbed mining. Over to you, Dr. Masuka.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Ramaida Murwira, for the question. First, wanting to know whether indeed that is the position, that all alluvial mining has been banned. Yes, that's the confirmation by any holder of whatever paper or whatever permit, including special grants, because of the devastation of the rivers and the associated ecosystems and the degradation and the need to focus on rehabilitation and the more long-term sustainability of management of those ecosystems. In terms of policy consistency, well, I leave that to you to comment, but I think this is the right decision for government to take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Honorable Minister, we don't have any further questions. We've come to the end of today's post-cabinet briefing. Our last post-cabinet briefing is there next week Tuesday, then we close for 2024. Honorable Ministers, thank you very much for coming. We meet next week, colleagues from the press.
Thank you.